Good evening, you're watching Estuary TV News. Coming up, restoring historic churches. We have a look at the regeneration of Holy Trinity Church in Hull. And everything in its place, the first of a series of Keep Britain Tidy events at a Laceby school. And I'll be talking to Sean McGarrell about creativity on the Humber. Welcome to Estuary TV News. I'm Hugh Richards. First of all, it's over to James Dunn for the news headlines.
A wrestling company's managed to save a charity match put in jeopardy when they were kicked out of Hull's Airco Arena. New Generation Wrestling and other sports groups are now looking for new homes after the stadium management company announced Airco will be converted into a 3G pitch for Hull City's Youth Academy. It put a charity event for Life for a Kid on the ropes, but they've now booked Hull City Hall. The Alams, who own Hull City and the Stadium Management Company, say the community sports clubs can still use the venue, but Rich Dunn says the conversion will make that impossible.
It's not just one or two who can't use a 3G pitch. I would say it's a good 75-80% of the regular users at the Airco Arena can't use a 3G pitch. Hull City Hall it's an incredibly well-known venue in Hull. It's very prestigious. It's part of Hull City's culture. So we're very excited to be there. We're hopeful that we're going to be able to make it flexible enough. But right now we're just really pleased that the Sunday May Fair show can go ahead.
Police want shops to do more to prevent retail crime. It's part of a new approach announced by Humberside Police yesterday involving more partnership work. Shop thefts account for 10% of all crime force-wide, but the last 6 months of a pilot scheme called Operation Sodium, they recorded a 23% drop in all crime. Police say they'll help shops fight crime before it happens, so businesses won't have to write off stock and officers can concentrate on the most dangerous offenders.
And there is a huge corporate and social responsibility on businesses, on significant businesses that are part of our community, to make sure they conduct their business in a responsible, sensible way that doesn't support the activity of those damaging criminals that are out there in every community.
And finally, one challenger went to hospital after a spicy curry eating challenge for St Andrew's Hospice. Competitors took on the Widower, which claims to be the hottest curry in the world, to raise money for Grimsby's Hospice. It tops more than 6 million Scovilles, which is hotter than drinking anti-riot tear gas. The winner managed to finish the whole dish, but had to seek hospital treatment. Another man was seen by paramedics on hand at the venue, but they're both now fine. That's all from me. Bye for now.
Holy Trinity Church in Hull is ancient and beautiful, of course, but it's also extremely expensive to maintain. Now, though, it might be the beneficiary of the 2017 City of Culture, enjoying extensive renovation, as Dave Nunn reports.
It's one of the most majestic sites in Hull's city centre. Holy Trinity Church has been standing for about 700 years, but it's getting a facelift in time for 2017's Year of Culture in the city.
Yeah, we've been gathering a vision together for some years now of making this place obviously a place of worship fit for the 21st century, but a place the community can use as well, inviting people in for all manner of different events, and also for making it sustainable, because at the moment we're simply not. So those kind of three things have been driving this vision and the development project, which has gathered remarkable support from many different people across the city and beyond. So it's an exciting time, but it's always a challenge to deliver these things that involve change.
It's a transformation that won't come cheap, however. The church needs around £4.5 million for the renovations, but it's not far off that target.
We've reached over £2 million so far. That's through the generosity of people in the area and also outside the area. It seems that people get what we're trying to do here, and people just want to contribute towards. There's a lot of people that want to see Hull do well. Hull is a place which is kind of forgotten, but this is the type of project which can bring Hull back to life, as well as many others that are happening throughout the city, as well as 2017. I think, not to say it'll pull Hull on the map, but it should hopefully change the perspective of Hull from the outside.
The investment will allow the church to revel in the benefits 2017 will bring to Hull, while also acting as a catalyst for the regeneration of the old town.
Yeah, I mean, we're standing in a 700-year-old building. It's seen an amazing amount of history, and obviously that gives us a great respect for the place we're in. But on the other hand, it's a building that has changed over the centuries. People have adapted it, you know, it survived 2 world wars. And actually, if it is a living church, not a museum, then it needs to be right for the needs of people in the 21st century. And here we are in the middle of the old town of Hull, a place that itself needs regeneration and is finding its kind of feet with new people coming in and investment. And we want to be part of that good news story for Hull itself.
You're watching Estuary TV News. A little later in this programme, we spot the mistake and we ask a big question. And Dan Kemp will bring you all the sports news. The Humber region is full of creativity and creative people, so an organisation called Creative Humber seeks to promote and encourage potential talent. I'm joined by Sean McGarrell from Freeman Street Market. Sean, welcome.
Hi, Hugh.
What is the event going on tomorrow night?
Well, it's called Creative Humber, as you say, and it's essentially a networking event which we hold every 2 to 3 months, and it's geared to the creative industries. So we try and attract people to do with whether it would be film production, photographers, artists, dancers, and this particular one we're having is geared to creative writing.
And what is that's the event about creative writing? Just we said it's tomorrow. Where is it? Who can come?
Well, it's at Freeman Street Market. It's in the new business hub at Freeman Street Market
In Grimsby.
In Grimsby, yeah. And the business hub has been open about a year now, and we've been holding all sorts of events along the same lines. And this is just another one of those. It starts at 6 p.m. runs until about 8 p.m. tomorrow evening.
And is anybody welcome? Anybody can come?
Yep, we essentially ask people to register for this, but if you're at all interested in creative writing, you may be a writer who has been doing it for a bit of a hobby for years, like to extend it a bit, that's the sort of person we're really aiming at. But it's open to all. Register at freemanstreetmarket.co.uk and follow the link to Eventbrite.
And what will actually happen? Who will be there? Who will be speaking?
Well, we've got 3 local writers. We've got Dr. Chris Dowse, we've got Lynette Creswell and Dr. Stephen Bloy, and we've got a chairman who'll be chairing an event.
You've got a lousy chairman, absolutely dreadful chairman.
Couldn't possibly say, haven't seen him yet.
Can't write, can't spell, doesn't wash his socks.
So we've got a chairman hosting an event. It'd be similar to Question Time. Except they will actually answer the questions.
Okay, well, I hope so. These writers, I know a certain amount about them, but we'll talk about them later. But just the connection with Freeman Street Market. This is something that Freeman Street Market wants to do as a benevolent thing?
Yeah, what we've been doing, I mean, we took the view 6 or 7 years ago that Freeman Street Market, or at least the square acre it stands on, was possibly a little bit over-representative with retail. We couldn't really fill the spaces. It was poor quality retail.
Well, Estuary TV has made a new series of This is Freeman Street Market, 6 5-minute shorts or a 24-minute long documentary, following a few of those traders around, Dave, Rick and Tony. I'll plug it myself. It starts broadcasting on the 6th of April, Monday the 6th of April. I think we have a little clip we can go to now.
Coming soon to Estuary TV in April. We take you inside Freeman Street Market.
That's Freeman Street for you, innit? You know, bit of banter, bit of this.
Join Dave, Rick,
any fool can sell them on Mother's Day,
and Tony for a real-life insight into being a market trader.
so there we go.
It's full of characters, customers and charisma.
Cheap entertainment, innit?
But don't just take our word for it.
Brilliant, excellent. Love the look of that. Freeman Street Market is a great institution in town, isn't it, of course?
Absolutely, yeah. It's been there and serving the people of Grimsby since 1887. So it's got a heck of a history. Everybody knows of it. Most people have been to it. I would urge anybody that hasn't been to it in the last couple of years to get along there. It's undergone something of a transformation.
Well, as have the creative industries here. And it's fantastic that the market and these creative industries have joined forces, as it were. The professional writing and the creative writing potential that everybody has, it's one of those things that everybody can do if they own a pencil.
Yes, or a laptop. I mean, for instance, Lynette Creswell, one of the writers, her husband saw the potential in Lynette when she was able to really get to the imaginations of children and do such a fantastic job with her own children. But then when he decided to he thought he could maybe take it a little bit further, bought her a laptop, and she came out with the Magic trilogy.
And a great success it's been.
Absolutely, yeah.
I know Chris Dowes as well, who's a teacher of writing as well as an absolutely brilliant writer himself. He writes in all sorts of genres, fantasy, children's work, and science fiction. He's an expert on Star Trek, and he's currently writing a fantastic historic novel. Anyway, we look forward to tomorrow night. I'll be there with clean socks on. Just remind us where and when it is.
It's at the Business Hub on Freeman Street Market in Grimsby, and it's at 6 p.m. till 8 p.m. and all welcome.
Excellent. And we would hope to be creating some literary geniuses there.
Well, there is that chance, yeah.
Sean, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Littering can be a blight on communities, which is why campaigns like Keep Britain Tidy are necessary. In North East Lincolnshire, children are getting involved in cleaning up, as Dave Nunn went to find out.
It's often said that people have less pride in their communities these days than they used to. One source of restoring that pride is cleaning up communities, and that's where schools have been getting involved in a big clean-up.
Right, it's part of a community clear-up. Most of it will be done tomorrow, where different areas are being cleaned by the community. But today we're concentrating on schools. We've done one this morning at Enfield School in New Waltham, and today we're in Stamford School at Laceby. It's very, very important. What they do is to see what a problem litter can be. Also, they can see how much litter is about in their area and get responsibility for it.
It's part of the Keep Britain Tidy campaign, and Tony thinks it's important to get people involved at an early age, to build up respect for their community and possibly influence their parents to take on this new community spirit.
Definitely, it's their community, so they want to get some part of it, and to see what damage they can cause is very, very important. Yes, I've done these in the past and they've always been very successful, and what happens is the children go home and tell the parents, and the parents think, okay, we'll pick up. Or when they're taking the dog out for a walk, they also pick up the dog mess as well. So it's an improvement, and it's a fantastic way of getting the message across.
It may be a small step, but by taking part in a regional and national campaign, it hopes children like these will brighten up Britain.
As we saw in the news, Estuary TV's favourite sport, wrestling, has had to move from the Airco Arena in Hull to the City Hall. Yesterday, I spoke to Richard Dunn, wrestling impresario. Richard, thanks very much for coming in. Wrestling is leaving Airco. Where's it going?
We're really happy to be able to announce that with the support of Hull City Council, our Sunday, May 3rd show, we will be moving to the Hull City Hall.
Hull City Hall is now a venue for wrestling. Is that an appropriate venue? Is it easy to set up the sport there?
We're the first time we're going in, obviously. We are used to the flexibility of the Airco, setting up for the television tapings and things like that. Hull City Hall is incredibly prestigious. It's a wonderful, wonderful venue. We're very hopeful, and we're going to be working very hard between now and May 3rd to make sure that it is suitable. It's a wonderful live event venue, and we're going to be working very hard between now and then to make sure it's suitable for the television recordings.
Why did you have to leave Airco?
Well, basically we got an eviction order, I think is the easiest way to say it. Hull City and the Stadium Management Committee decided that it was the best decision for a 3G pitch to be laid in the Airco. Throwing
3G pitch being
indoor artificial grass, most suitable for football. They decided that the Airco was their only choice to put down this pitch to be able to move their youth academy up to a higher status, throwing out people like ourselves and all the other organisations that we've been working with really to try and help our cause, and we're stronger together really.
So will your move to the City Hall, will other people be able to move over with you?
What we provide is very different to a lot of the other organisations, and that was the wonderful thing about Airco. It was so diverse, all the different things going on there. So I think the other organisations, more sport-based, would struggle to move to the City Hall. They're still looking for facilities, and we're hoping we can make Hull City Hall our long-term home. We've got a lot of work to do, but we're just really pleased that the May 3rd show could be saved.
Well, it's a wonderful building. It's a great sort of piece of Victorian municipal braggadocio, and it's right in the centre of town, so people can get to it
Yeah,
easily.
definitely. Yeah.
Is this a good thing for you? Will you get bigger audiences, bigger crowds?
We're hopeful. We're hopeful. We'd like to think it'll draw some people that might not have previously attended. We're hoping we don't lose any of our current audience. I don't believe we will, because our fans and followers have always been so loyal to us, now more than ever. With the support of the TV show on Estuary at the moment, people are able to follow over a long period, and the loyalty there, I think, is going to stay strong.
Well, Estuary TV were the first to start broadcasting wrestling. I think it had been off the British television screens for about 25 years. Other local stations are following on our path, as so often happens. Why is it that wrestling was out of favour for a quarter of a century?
I think wrestling didn't evolve with the rest of the world. It got taken off by Greg Dyke, who coincidentally runs the Football Association at the moment.
He didn't at the time, though.
He didn't at the time, but back then he came in and was head of the ITV, pulled it off, and the story goes that he believed that it wasn't appropriate for the audience he wanted to attract. And there was a huge outcry from the public.
It was so popular, though, wasn't it? I mean, for a lot of us, people my age, we have childhood memories of Saturday afternoons with Big Daddy and giant haystacks, and there was a chap who always wore a mask. It was
Kendo Nagasaki, yeah.
Oh, you're a bit keener than I am. But it was a great sport, wasn't it? It's returning to popularity now, is it? It's a success for you.
Yeah, we've kind of moved British wrestling forward a little bit now, to the point of we're producing what you see on the Estuary television show. We've moved it to the modern era. We've moved it to something that's more relative to people of this era, of all kinds of demographics. So people who remember the World of Sport days with Big Daddy can also see the benefits of it too.
Richard, thank you so much for coming in, and good luck at the City Hall.
Thank you very much.
Now, check every jot and tittle, whatever they may be. Kindly spot the mistake.
We're here in Grimsby Town Centre asking people what's wrong with this sentence. It pays to talk sense. And on the other side, it pays to talk sense. Let's see what people can make of it.
It pays to talk sense? I don't know what's wrong with it.
Is it possibly 2 O's in 2?
Yep. And anything else that you can see with it?
The apostrophe between the T and the S. Well, there's too many O's in 2.
Yep. Anything else you can see? There's 2 mistakes.
Oh, it's. You've got an apostrophe in it's.
Anything else with the word it's?
I ain't got a clue. You're tricking me out here.
No, I'm not tricking you. No, there's 2 mistakes, honestly. Is there anything you can see with that?
No.
Well, it shouldn't be there. It should be it,
yep.
not it, yeah.
So if I show you the right one, it pays to talk sense?
That's it.
That makes sense. Okay.
It pays to talk sense, it should be, rather than it's talked nonsense.
That's wrong. The 2, I think.
So there's a double O on 2. Is there anything else there that you can see that might be wrong at all?
It pays to talk sense. No, not that I know.
There's 2 things.
Is there? Was that one of them?
Yeah, that's one of them. You got one of them. Anything else with the it's?
Not my grammar since I left school is not as top notch as it was, and it wasn't brilliant then.
2.
Yep, the double O. So it pays to talk sense.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
It does. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Well, what did you say before?
It's.
Rather
than it.
Oh yeah.
Pays to talk sense. Well, there you go. And I've only had 1 drink.
The time has come to ask a big question of some little kids, these from Grassbury Primary School. Do they think we should have TV election debates?
I'm from Grassbury All Saints Primary School, and this week's question is, are election debates a good idea?
Yes, because people can win their right to be the government.
Well, I'm not really sure, because people are telling other people their opinions. So it doesn't really matter if they have them, because other people are telling people what they think their opinions are.
Yeah.
Why?
Because, like, they can they give ideas, and then other people can take them on, and then it can make it better, like make England and the world better.
Yes, because I think that there should be a change of rules sometimes, and that there could be other people that are willing to be better.
No, because it's more like arguing. So if they do, they're just gonna like get into a fight, and they're just gonna be all angry at each other.
Well, I don't think they're an amazingly good idea, because a debate is just sort of a civilised argument, and it's not really something I think should be encouraged, because, you know, it's not really something good.
And now here's the sport with Dan Kemp.
Grimsby Town will be looking to go within 3 points of the conference leaders tonight as they travel to Dover Athletic. The Mariners are 6 points adrift of Barnet ahead of tonight's clash at the Crabble with a 10th place side. It's anticipated the team will go unchanged for this evening, having won 5 and drawn 1 of their last 6. North Ferriby United are just 5 days from walking out at Wembley Stadium for the FA Trophy final, and manager Billy Heath is aware of the dangers posed by their conference premier opponents Wrexham. The Villagers' boss has been watching Sunday's opponents and already knows how his team will approach the game.
We've had a couple of DVDs and obviously the information is starting to filter through. We'll know a lot more about them by the time we come Sunday. And then obviously we'll set up, what we won't be is negative. We will go and play our game as we usually do. That's the only way we can play. We can't sit and hold. Wrexham are big favourites. But we can't play a holding game. We have to go for it. We have to go and we get men in people's boxes, and that's where we'll be going in the final.
And you can see more of Ferriby's Wembley preparations in Wednesday's show. Tonight there's a Hull derby in the first semi-final of the East Riding Senior Cup. Hull City play Hull United at the home of the East Riding FA, the Roy West Centre. United's management team consists of former Hull City duo Curtis Woodhouse and Ian Ashby, and fellow ex-players Laurie Dudfield and Mark Greaves, who also play for the Citizens. Don't forget to get in touch if you've got any sports stories for us. You can call 01472 31 553 or search us on Facebook or Twitter. And that's all for the sport.
Thanks, Dan. Don't forget the Creative Humber writing event at Freeman Street Market in Grimsby tomorrow evening from 6. If you have a story for us, please go to our Facebook or Twitter pages. Details are on the screen. Email news at estuary.tv or phone Grimsby's 31553. Until tomorrow, good evening.
Hello and welcome to Estuary TV's weather. On Wednesday it's going to be a sunny and cold start, risk of icy patches on untreated surfaces, then sunny spells and isolated afternoon showers, some heavy, with possible wintry over high ground, but most places staying dry with a maximum temperature of 9 degrees Celsius. Thursday is going to be dry starts with some brightness and then becoming cloudy.